stand on the one leg and circle your foot. And as you do it, I'd like you to circle your shoulders backwards. Pointing the toes and then flexing. And then let's reverse the foot in the opposite direction. And we're going to do some wrist circles at the same time. And let's do that on the other foot. So just start by circling the foot. And then once you've got that going, adding in the shoulders, coming up to your ears, squeeze and press down. Coordination involved. And then let's go in the opposite direction, in reverse, circling the wrist. And we're going to come to the back edge of our mat and come down to touch the toes. Walk the hands forwards, coming down, dropping the knees. I'm going to move into a cat stretch, rounding. Keep going, and then arch and look up, just letting Jen in. And then from here, we'll move into a downward dog. So if you can lift your tailbone up in the air and just hold, deep breath. I'm going to walk our hands in to touch the toes and uncurl, coming up to standing. Hi, Jen. Let's do that again. Adding some tiptoes at the top, arms wide, and then coming down to touch the toes, tucking the head in, nose to knees, and walking forwards with the hands, rounding like a cat, arch and look up, and then moving into the downward dog. And as you hold the downward dog now, we're going to mobilize our ankles, feet, calves, pressing one side down and then pressing the other side down, flexing the foot on one side and then flexing on the other. And then from there, if you can walk your hands in, touch your toes and uncurl back up to standing. Let's take the arms wide. So tiptoe balance, we're going to add in and rotate the body, looking behind. Oh, got the sneezes. Let's do that the other way. Turn and look over the shoulder and then come down to touch your toes. Walking forwards with the hands. And then rounding like a cat. Arch and look up. And then moving to our downward dog again, we'll mobilize our feet, pressing down on one side as we flex the toes on the other. And switching the other way. Breathe. And do it again. As you do it, just tuning into your body. Just asking your body, what does it need? Walking the hands in to touch the toes. Unfolding, we're going to do that one more time. So lengthening the arms, tiptoes, turn, looking behind, keeping the chest open and elongating the posture up through the crown of the head. Coming down to touch the toes, tucking the head in, noticing how the leg muscles are responding. Walking into our cat stretch, noticing how the back feels as you round and arch back up. And then meeting in the downward dog, we hold the downward dog, wriggling the feet back so the heels are slightly raised off the ground and pressing the heels downwards, lifting the tailbone and closing your eyes. Just really tuning in and asking your body what it needs. Noticing what response you get. We're going to take a walk with our feet towards our hands. And we're going to come down onto a seated position and breathe in and breathe out. Are you looking for online classes that support you with getting more me time? You want to get supple, strong, feel less stressed, get in the driving seat, but actually perhaps you've noticed that following videos on YouTube isn't actually helping you commit. It's not like the teacher reaches out and says, correct your hips, bring your knee back, move your posture back. And this is the problem. So, of course, you can hit subscribe to get more from the Zigs YouTube channel. But let's face it, we're not going to send our children to a school without a teacher or a tutor. I mean, what's their life going to be like if they're going to learn in that way? So my name's Claire Louise Freeman. I'm the business owner of Zigs Exercise, and I like to encourage you to join me and my community online, where we get together via Zoom and we practice Pilates conditioning, yoga stretches, mobility. And the thing is, we get to actually talk through this stuff. We get to do it together. And to me, consistently doing it together is the thing that gives us much, much better results than if we're left flailing around in front of a video trying to do it all by ourselves. So if you'd like more information about joining me and others, please reach out, get in touch. You can work with us morning, evening, from the comfort of your own home. It's great because you get all the kit together at home, and it does help you to practice in between as well. So I'm offering a complimentary kickstart call. We can talk through what's getting in the way, you know, why it's not worked so far. And sometimes the hardest bit is actually just picking up the phone and talking it through. So brave pants on. I work with all sorts of people from various walks of life, different shapes and sizes. And often people who do work with me do it because they say that I do it in a very non-judgmental way. Of course, it's free to talk, so you can click the link in the description box below and we can get to know each other and see if we're a good fit. There's no pressure here. On the call, I'll listen in to, you know, what you need support with, what your personal needs are, and I can answer any of your questions about our online Pilates and yoga, where we do it together in community. Why wait? This stuff doesn't get any easier as we get older. We work with lots of busy parents, grandparents, business owners, NHS professionals, private school teachers, regular school teachers. So if that feels like you and you need that support and accountability on getting it done, that's the thing. If we've got the sessions booked in regularly, that means we're much more likely to show up. And it's that regularity that people are often missing. You know, they take time off during holidays. It's the commitment that gets the motivation. So why wait? Book in, give me a call, and I'll see you on the other side. You can join me seated now. And we're going to tilt the tailbone under, roll, and come back up. Tuck and roll, lengthen the back, breathing out as we roll, breathing in as we lengthen. The next level, we can add some reach out to the side with the arms. We open the arms, keeping the feet off the ground. For more advanced, we can add some extension through our legs. So warming up our core, mobilizing the back. And we do that twice more. So final one. And then from here, if we can move over onto our front for some cobras. So particularly if you've been sat a lot today, getting the spine moving helps to get good blood flow through the back. Your first couple just coming up to where your back feels comfortable, and back down. Allow your pubic bone to press into the ground as you lift, breathing in and exhaling as you lower. Squeezing the buttock muscles as you come up to activate the buttocks to give your back a bit of support. And if you've got a stronger, happier back, you might explore your range of movement and go a little further now you've done a few. And just tuning into what your back needs today. Enjoying a bit of a stretch, pushing the ground away. Heel of the hand pressing quite firmly into the ground. So we're using the force with the hands to create that strengthening effect through the arms. Inhaling and lifting. Exhaling and lowering. Can we do 2 more? So final one. Alrighty, from here, we're going to make a fist with our hands like this. So if you can squeeze the fist and then lift from your midsection. So we move into a plank. Either from your knees, we're going to hover one leg, holding for 3, 2, 1, and then changing over to the other side. Or for more advanced, we're going to do it from the toes, trying to keep steady in the spine as we transition one side to the other. When the leg's in the air, can you point your toes quite firmly? And then keep switching, holding each for about 3 seconds, and then do the same on the other side. Now there's a natural tendency for the shoulders to sort of hunch up around the ears. Try to keep pressed down with your shoulder blades. We're working on what we call scapular retraction. Fancy name for pushing your shoulders down. One more on each side. And last one. And then from here, we're going to meet up in our child pose. So if you can drop your bottom back like this, your arms lengthened out, and allow your forehead to connect with the ground. Wiggle our fingers forwards just a couple of inches, sort of caterpillaring them along the ground, spreading the fingers, pressing the palms downwards, getting a sense of stretch under the armpits as we press down quite firmly with the palms. Breathe. Breathing deeply into your belly. Let your attention rest on the breath inside the belly. One more deep breath. Alrighty, from here, if you can find a foam roller, we're going to do some shoulder bridge raises. You can either do them with cushion between your knees or your feet flat on the floor. Or we're going to elevate the feet with a foam roller to make it more challenging. So choose your weaponry, choose your kit. So working the muscles at the backs of the legs, around the glutes, curling the tailbone under and pushing upwards with our hips. We're going to hold the breath and then roll down, exhaling. So breathing in at the bottom. Exhale, lifting. As you hold at the top, take another breath in now. And exhale as you roll down. So get into the feeling of the breath on this one, particularly if you had a busy day. So using this time as your breathing space as well as your exercise space. you're using the roller, notice if your toes sort of point upwards, can you angle them down a little bit? Printing your spine bone by bone down. On this next one, we're going to pause at the top and we'll hover the arms over the top of the head like this, and then a big circle with your arms around and imprinting your spine down bone by bone. And let's do that again. So tucking your tailbone under, lifting, circling, and imprinting bit by bit. And let's do that again. A couple more times through, pushing downwards through your feet when you're up in the air. Sweeping the arms overhead and aiming to keep your hips pushed up as you circle your arms. Stamina building, the muscles at the back of the legs, the glutes, the hamstrings, the lower back. Last one. Up and over with the arms, keeping the hips up there, squeezing from behind. And then rolling down bone by bone. From here, we're going to extend one leg upwards. And if you can catch hold of it here, and then straighten your bottom leg down. We're going to point both sets of toes and push the leg into the hands, but also pull the leg slightly towards you. Pointing your toes quite firmly. And then here's more advanced, coming up with the head to the nose and the knee. Aim closer together. Breathe. And let's release the stretch off. So bending the leg, extending on the other side. So straightening the bottom leg away. And this feeling for the stretch, pushing the hands into the leg and the leg into the hand as we ease the leg a little bit closer to. And again, for more advanced, just gradually bringing our nose and our knee towards each other. Breathe. And let's release off. Now we're going to use our roll to do some core work. So if you can pop yourself along the roll, so you've got your head, your shoulders, your tailbone on there. And notice the arms are hovered slightly. If you can, have your fingertips just lightly down. Drop your chin in and activate your core. So we're going to bring one knee up as the other leg comes down. So we've got both legs in the air, sort of scissor action with the legs, pointing the toes, and try not to leave nail marks in the floor as you do it. Steady with your hands, just a very light pressure in the fingers, almost maybe going on to one finger. And then if that's doable, you can start to move one leg further away. Maybe even play with taking the hands away. Can get a little bit wobbly at that point. Just exploring your core. And last couple. Alrighty, let's relax off. We're going to roll off to the side. Now's a good time if you'd like some water. Grab a drink, and if you've got some weights there, we're going to use our weights standing. Okay, so just need to grab some weights. So I'd like you to hold on to your weights in your palm and then bring your elbows back. Open out with the hands. Squeeze your shoulders. Jen, maybe use some cushions or something at least. Good. Your cushions will give you a little bit of weight. Cushions from the sofa, yeah. Or some saucepans. And the biggest weights I've ever seen. Oh, I love it. Using Prosecco and all sorts in lockdown. Okay, so we're going to lengthen out, tiptoe balance, and then come back in and move to the middle. And let's do it again. Extending out, straightening your arms. Okay, so we're going to turn and move to the middle and come back in and down. Definitely the most comedy weights we've ever used. Can we do another one each side? And last lot. Alrighty, resting off. Can you find a stick? You can pop your stick along your back. And we lift the leg, but still keep our stick upright. So we're going to point the toes behind. Now we're going to use the leg to lever the body forwards and move the opposite arm forwards. So we're aiming the arm and the leg horizontal. And then release. And let's switch the other side. So extending the leg, get some height in it. Reaching our opposite arm forwards and holding there just for a few seconds to test the balance. Oh, hello, she says. And let's give that a go on the other side. Like pointy toes, some height in the leg. Reaching. Breathe. And release. So, as you lift the leg, can you keep the stick upright? And then as you add more height, let the leg lever your body, reaching the opposite arm. Can we hold for a few seconds there? And let's give that a go on the other side again. We'll do one more each way. Noticing as you do it, how much play is there in the leg and the ankle? Is the left compared to the right? Be quite a useful sort of exploration to self-assess the balance. It's normal for one side to be slightly stronger than the other. But if there's a real big difference, then definitely using that as a guide as to where to work on improving the situation. Okay, so we're going to come to seated next. We're going to do some curls. Working the old six-pack. Rolling the body down, tapping the back of the head on the ground, and then curling. Can you lengthen your posture at the top? Tilting the tailbone under as you come down, and then lifting back up. Breathing out as you lower. Tapping down, inhaling and lifting. More advanced, we start to bring the arms over the head. And if it's doable, you could keep your arms back here by your ears. The same on the way up. Then you could start to think about adding in a weight. I'm going to do it 4 more times. Breathing in on the lower. Breathing out on the left. The last couple. Lengthening up through the posture. As we finish the final one, if we can come down and meet up down here. I'm going to leave the arms overhead, interlock the fingers, turn the palms outwards, pointing the toes, arching the body back. Deep breath. We're going to bend our legs in, bring the arms to here. We're going to take our opposite arm and leg away, tapping the thumb and the toes down simultaneously. Next level, we'll do it with a straight leg from here. Now I add a flex with the feet and a point with the toes. We flex as we come in and then point on the way out. And we do 4 more. Alrighty, from here, we're going to bend the knees, placing the hands on top of the knees. We're going to close our eyes and just circle our knees around at the same time together, massaging the small of the back into the ground. Just getting into the feel of circling and massaging the lower back. And reversing in the opposite direction. Noticing as you do it where you feel the most comfort inside your body. Where do you feel a sense of space? From here, we're going to allow ourselves to come back up. If you could find a stick, and we'll move into some oysters next. So working the muscles down the side of the hip. Using the stick to monitor our posture. So head, shoulders, tailbone against the stick. We're going to apply a little bit of lift through the waistline. Pointing the toes as we bring the knee up. Up, squeezing the buttock, and as we come down, we're going to flex our feet and hover the foot. We're not actually going to touch the legs back together. We're going to keep the knees open, 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 and then as we come back down, we just keep with the hover. Next level, we're going to add in a reach with the top leg. Now let's see if we can do that reach with the hips still. Try and keep the hips steady. More advanced, we're going to come up and work really down the side of the body, shoulder on that bottom arm. So we come up into a side plank. Whichever version you're doing, let's do 3 more. And final one. And resting off. Okay, so can we give that a go on the other side? So head, shoulders, tailbone against the stick. Lifting up from the waist. Pressing back with our knee, 2, 3, and then hovering the leg down. pointing our toes. Keeping lifted in the waist, starting in that reach with the top leg. Bring the knuckles and lower back together. And more advanced, coming up into our side plank. And then we do 3 more. The final one. And from here, I'm going to move into a yoga-based triangle pose. So if we can take our feet wide like this, and on this side, we're going to turn the foot fully out. And then over here, I'm going to angle in, sliding the hand down the leg and lengthening up with our top arm. Eye gaze up, deep breath. You can either stay with this version, or next level, we're going to bring this hand down and we're going to rotate over the other way. And then bending into our front knee with our hand on the thigh and turning our toes at the back, moving into more of a lunge stretch. Try to tuck your tailbone under. We're going to lengthen the arms out to the side and straighten up. So we lift, lengthen the front leg and come back down. Keeping your tailbone tucked under. Can you bring your hands now towards the middle of your chest? We're going to rotate away from the back leg. You're going to turn in your upper body, move to the center, and then release, opening the arms. And again, bending into your front knee, coming down, breathe. We're going to lean now away from the back leg. So you're going to lean sideways away from the back leg. Breathe. And bring your arms to the center, wobbling optional. And let's give that a go on the other side. Well done. Okay, so I'm going to turn the toes out over here, angle in over here, and slide into our triangle pose. So lengthening up with that top arm, eye gaze up towards your top hand, deep breath. Breathing into your belly. Again, you can either stay with that version or next level. I'm going to switch the arms around. And then from here, bending into the knee, hands on the thigh, wriggling that back foot around. So we're now on tiptoes on our back foot, squaring up the hips, tucking the tailbone under, lengthening the arms out to the side. And then can you straighten your front leg? And come back down. Hands to the center of the chest, and then turning away from the back leg, looking behind your body. Breathe. And moving to the center, lengthening the arms and coming back up, straightening our front leg, tucking the tailbone under, coming down. And we're going to lean again away from the leg. Breathe. And move to the middle. Alrighty, well done. Shake a leg, have a drink. Okay, so coming over to all fours now. If you can find a stick, and we're going to see if we can avoid the stick giving you a stick as we move into Superwoman, Superman, Superperson. So we're on all fours, and the aim of the game is to keep our stick steady as we extend the leg, get some height on it, squeezing the buttock, holding for a couple of seconds, and then as we change over to the other side, can we use our core stability to keep the stick steady? Keeping our belly button muscle pulled in slightly, elongating the abdomen. Taking the opposite arm away from the leg for our next level. Holding, and then adding a fold, the heel towards the bottom. We keep the stick steady as we switch over. Breathe. Let's give that a go. One more on each side. If you need one, especially if you're playing a bit of catch up. Alrighty, let's release. And we're going to move into groin stretch now. So we open the knees, toes together, and come down like this onto the elbows, just pushing back slightly. And the chest open. Breathe. And then from here, moving to all fours, having your hands about shoulder width and allowing your chest to lead the way as you come down and push back up. Keeping your knees under your hips for first level, moving the knees further back for a slightly more challenging option, but keeping your body weight forwards. Try to let your breastbone lead the way. Or more advanced, coming up onto your toes. And we do 3 more. Breathing out, breathing in. And last one. And then having a sit back, forehead resting on the ground, bringing the hands down by the ankles, allowing the shoulders to soften and round. Breathe. Alrighty, let's release. Coming over onto our backs. I want you to slide your fingertips towards your heels. You're curling. And then coming back down. Drawing the chin down. As you lift, sliding your fingertips towards your heels. And then lowering. Exhaling, lifting, reaching a single leg away. And coming back in. The next level, we bring our knees up to 90 degrees. Extend and lift. And then lower. Breathing out on the lift, in on the lower. And you do 2 more. And on your final one, extending your feet out to the corners of your mat, your arms out to the corner, so you're sort of in a star shape, arching back. Breathing into your belly, filling up with air. Exhaling out. With your eyes closed, as you inhale, imagine you're breathing in positive, healthy energy. Exhaling out any tension, worries, or stresses. And do that again, filling up all the little cells in your body and exhaling out any stresses or tension. Just do that one more time, filling up with healthy energy. As you exhale, just allow your body to relax, bending one knee into your chest. And we're going to rock ourselves up to seated, and then we're going to cross that leg over, flexing this other foot at the front and bringing this leg quite close in by wrapping the elbow around here, and then this hand over here behind. We're going to push the ground away, but we're going to make sure that the forearm is touched against the back. Twisting the body so that we look over the shoulder and squeezing that knee quite firmly in as we push the ground away. Lengthen the spine. Like someone's pulling you up by a little bun on the top of your head. Breathe. And then let's release. Now we can either stay with this version on this leg, or we can hook the leg underneath. So we're going to pull that heel underneath the buttock on that side, and then take the arm here just a little bit further around. Same at the back again, pushing the ground away. Breathing deeply. Noticing where you feel the stretch. What's feeling good in the body. Breathe. Let's release. So let's unravel the knot and give that a go on the other side. So bringing the leg in and across and drawing that knee quite firmly in as we push the ground away. See if you can get that forearm to touch the back of your body as you turn and look over your shoulder. Flexing up on the toes at the front and looking behind that shoulder, breathing deeply. You can imagine someone's pulling you up by a little bun at the top of your head. Breathe. And let's release. So again, we can either repeat on this same side, or we can go the next level where we hook the heel underneath the bottom and just take this arm a little bit further round to the thigh. And same again at the back, pushing down, looking behind, breathing deeply. Alrighty, let's release. And we're going to come up to standing and do some stretches for our pecs. So if you can find a little bit of wall space. If you can twizzle your fingers backwards Stride your inside leg forwards, lunging, bending into your front knee. I'm going to turn and look over the shoulder, breathing deeply. And then just edging the fingers a little higher, bending into the front knee, turning the upper body and looking over the shoulder, breathing deeply. And just nudging the fingers a little higher with the fingers turned back, keeping that arm behind, breathing into the belly. And let's release. And we're going to give that a go on the other side. So fingers pointing backwards, striding the inside leg forward, bending into the knee, and turning the chest in, breathing deeply. And just nudging the fingers a little higher. Again, bending into the knee, turning, looking over the shoulder behind. Applying a bit of pressure with the hand. Breathe. Let's go a little bit further up. Bending into the knee. Just taking a moment to notice how you're feeling now compared to the start of the session. Breathing into the stretch. Alrighty, so from here we're going to come down onto our backs on the mat. So if you can join me down onto your back. Placing your hands on top of your belly. I'd like you to take a moment to just look back through your day and pick out something that you feel really grateful for today. What's been perhaps a mini win of your day? Just taking a moment to notice how that mini win sits with your feelings. And noticing what makes that a mini win for you. Taking a moment to appreciate why that's important to you. And as you relax down more deeply, allow yourself to be in the being mode. Seeing the difference in your energy when you're in the being mode versus the doing mode. And taking a moment to contemplate how you can bring more of that being energy into your day tomorrow. And carrying it forward from there. I'd like you to take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, keep blowing out until you can't blow out any more air. Do that again, let your belly fill up. And exhale till you can't blow out any more air. Keep going. And just do that one more time. Filling up. And emptying. When you're ready, if you can open your eyes, I'm going to roll to our side. And if you can bring yourself up, I hope that's made a difference to your day.